I'm Richard Eisenberg, and I was a financial caregiver. I became a caregiver, I would say, twice for my mother and my father. First was primarily for my mother when she had dementia, and that was for the 5 years before she died in 2012. And then I became a financial caregiver for my father, I would say, probably starting at that point until he passed away in 2016. My sister and I decided that we really needed to work together on this. And we felt like we wanted to be sure that our parents were being taken care of as best as we could. And while we were the ones to find them home care aides to help them sort of day to day, we felt it was up to us to basically be sure that their finances were in order. We decided we really needed to be sure that everything was taken care of. And so we stepped in at that point. Our parents didn't have a lot of money, but whatever they had, they needed. And we wanted to be sure that they were not losing any and that it was being spent well. And I think the hardest part in taking care of our parents' finances was doing whatever we could to be sure that they didn't run out of money. That was our biggest worry for them and for us, frankly, because we didn't want to find that their electricity would get turned off because they didn't pay the bill. Not that they couldn't afford to, but that they didn't get around to it. They forgot about it. They were frugal people. They didn't spend a lot. They didn't have a lot. And we wanted to be sure that the things didn't get to the point where things were so dire that we were going to then have to come up with more money to pay for their expenses. For somebody who's just starting out to be a financial caregiver, I'd say it's really important to understand that having problems knowing how to pay bills, for example, and things like that are often the first sign of cognitive problems. So I would say keep an eye out on things like that. If you notice that your parents are taking longer to write a check, but it's a sign that you need to step in and be helpful to do what needs to get done, because it's only going to get worse over time. And the sooner you can step in and be helpful, the better it will be. We never confronted him or challenged him and said, "Dad, you're not able to pay your bills. We need to do." We never wanted to make him feel less than. All we did was, as much as we could, we just tried to make it seem as though it was sort of a natural thing. We're here to visit with you. We're going to take you out to lunch. We're going to see how things are going. And by the way, while we're here, let's just be sure that the bills get paid. And I think he was grateful that we did it. He might not have said so, but we could tell. And I was definitely grateful for my sister's help in doing this. And we were very, very lucky, I think, as brother and sister, that we got along and we're on the same team. I know that isn't always true for siblings. There's sometimes where one sibling has a very different view of things than the other, or one does a lot more than the other. And in that way, we were fortunate too.